Are you sure you're making your dog happy? Maybe you still pet them every day, feed them on time, take them for regular walks, but deep down, they might be sad. And even worse, you could be making it worse without realizing it. Many depressed dogs never bark for help. They just change quietly through signs so subtle that you might easily overlook them. But today, I'll show you 10 signs your dog might be sad and why you could be unknowingly making things worse. Don't go anywhere, because sign number 6 is the most dangerous, the easiest to ignore, and yet the clearest silent cry from a dog in emotional pain. And if you've noticed your dog quietly leaving the room whenever you walk in lately, don't assume it's just tiredness. One of the earliest and most obvious signs is when your dog starts avoiding you. No longer wanting to sit on the couch with you, not coming when you call, even hiding in the closet or under the bed. All of these are ways a dog tries to mask emotional discomfort. In the past, whenever you opened your laptop or watched a movie, they'd curl up right beside you. But now, even the sound of you moving doesn't bring them out of hiding. Don't be quick to assume they're being cold. That's a sign of emotional damage, man, and we need to gently reach out. So what's the solution? First, rule out environmental factors. Have there been loud noises in the house lately? A change in living space or new unfamiliar people around? If not, then start rebuilding the bond, slowly. Don't force them to come close. Instead, sit near where they're hiding and wait for them to come to you. It may take a few days, but that alone shows them that you're listening. If you've ever witnessed a moment like that, feel free to share it in the comments. Because the next sign, though quiet, is something that stings the heart even deeper. Do you remember the last time your dog excitedly chased after their favorite toy? If your answer is it's been a long time, that's not something to brush off. When a dog loses interest in toys, treats, or even going for walks, it means they're losing emotional energy from within. Back then, just picking up a tennis ball would make them bounce with excitement, ready to head to the park. Now you can place the ball right in front of them, and they simply glance at it and look away. That's not laziness, that's a sign of depression. You can try to bring the joy back by making small changes. Use toys that make noise, put old toys away and reintroduce them as surprises later, or try changing up the environment. A walk on a new route or a food hiding game in the yard. Novelty is one way to spark dopamine, the feel-good chemical in a dog's brain. Loss of interest is a subtle sign, but one that's easy to miss. And if you think that just giving it time will fix everything, wait until you see the next behavior. A happy dog usually has an active routine, but if you notice they just lie in one spot, sleep all day, or always seem tired, it's time to take a closer look. Sleeping a lot doesn't always mean they're fine. In fact, depression in dogs often causes a drop in energy, and sleep becomes their way to escape reality. You rattle their food bowl, no reaction. You open the door for a walk. They glance at you blankly and stay lying down. That's no longer laziness. That's the loss of a will to engage with life. You should consider adjusting their daily routine. Give them more time in the morning sunlight. Add in gentle activities like short runs in the yard, or introduce quick mental games to stimulate their focus. Most importantly, don't leave them alone all day in a dull environment. A boring space only prolongs depression. Have you ever seen your dog sleeping deeply all afternoon? Don't assume that means they're easy to take care of. Let us know in the comments if you've experienced that, because the next sign hits on something that might seem simple. Eating habits. Some people see their dog skipping meals and think, maybe it's just full. Others see their dog eating more than usual and feel relieved. But the truth is, both patterns, eating less or too much, all are signs of emotional distress. A dog that used to eat on schedule in just the right amount now suddenly skips meals, even when you've switched to their favorite food. Or the opposite. They devour every bite without control. These are all biological responses linked to serotonin, the chemical that helps regulate mood. If you notice changes in their eating habits, track it daily. Combine this with their weight. If your dog is suddenly gaining or losing weight, consult your vet to rule out medical causes. You can also try food puzzle toys to make mealtime more engaging, helping them reconnect with small moments of joy in daily life. And then there are signs that don't show through obvious behavior, but instead through the body itself. Which brings us to a behavior that's often overlooked. If you notice your dog licking their paws too much, chewing on a specific spot, or having patches of missing fur, don't just assume it's basic grooming. Many dogs use these actions as a way to self-soothe, especially when they're sad, anxious, or feeling abandoned. You might see a bald patch on their wrist, sometimes even a red sore and known as a lick granuloma. It's a common sign in dogs who lack emotional connection, and this behavior becomes their outlet for an unspoken sadness. Gently examine the area and rule out medical causes like skin inflammation, parasites, or allergies. In the meantime, you can use a temporary cone to stop the licking and increase playtime with you, especially interactive games or light training to shift their mental focus. And if this sounds like your dog, pause the video and check on them right now. But if you're ready to continue, the next sign will have you rethinking your own behavior at home. Because there are dogs who don't hide, don't stop eating, don't lick their fur, but instead silently destroy things around the house. And the heartbreaking part is, many people mistakenly believe their dog is just being bad. Think back. You come home from work and find a ripped pillow, chew marks on the table leg, or toilet paper shredded all over the living room. That's not random mischief. In many cases, destructive behavior is how a dog releases negative energy when they're stressed, lonely, or sad. Dogs don't have the words to say, "I feel abandoned." So instead they chew, scratch, tear. When emotions are bottled up, behavior speaks for them. If this happens, don't rush to scold them. Ask yourself, are they getting enough exercise each day? Are they playing with anyone or left alone all the time? You can increase chase games, offer more chew toys to release energy. If needed, try soft background music while you're away to help them relax. And most importantly, help them slowly get used to being home alone, not by disappearing for hours all at once. Destructive behavior is one of the loudest silent cries, and if you still think it's just being naughty, look closer, because the next sign will make you reflect on the kind of affection you've been giving. Some dogs don't destroy things, don't hide, but instead follow you everywhere, every moment of the day. Sounds cute, right? But when that attachment turns into separation anxiety, it could mean they're seeking comfort after emotional hurt. A dog that once was independent now won't leave your side. They lie at your feet, whimper when you leave the room, even follow you into the bathroom. You think it's love, but deep down, they might be afraid you'll never come back. This often happens after life changes. You return from a long trip, move houses, or someone they bonded with is no longer around. The solution isn't to push them away, but to meet their emotional need in a healthy way. Give them more physical affection, active playtime, and gradually teach them to handle short separations by rewarding calm behavior. Emotional overdependence doesn't just drain your dog, it can exhaust you too. And if you've seen signs like that, don't ignore the next one, because it reveals that your dog's greatest joy might already be fading. Remember the times you came home, and your dog would bounce with joy to greet you at the door? But now you walk in, and they barely lift their head before lying back down. That's a red flag. A dog that truly loves you can't help but show excitement every time you return. It's instinctual. Losing that excitement means losing the emotional drive to connect. You can help bring this joy back by turning the coming home moment into something positive again. Talk to them gently the moment you step through the door. Use a cheerful tone. Offer a small cuddle, or share a quick play session. What matters is helping them understand. Your return is something wonderful, not something meaningless. And if that emotional distance keeps lingering, remember, it's not because they've stopped loving you. It's because sadness has dimmed the feelings inside them. And then comes a sign so unusual that many people completely overlook it. Have you ever seen your dog lying flat by the window even when the world outside is full of sound? Not barking when someone knocks, not reacting to the food bowl, not caring about the familiar dog next door? When a dog becomes indifferent to the world around them, it means something inside has shut down. This behavior often shows up in dogs dealing with chronic depression, a long-term sadness left unaddressed. It's not about old age or boredom, it's their mind slowly closing off from the outside world. To bring them back, you'll need to open that door with positive social experiences. Invite close friends over, let them meet dogs they used to like, take them to the park to sniff new scents and watch the world again. Every small interaction can become a beam of light breaking through the fog in their heart. And after everything, there's one more sign that's often mistaken for being bad, when in truth, it's the quietest cry of emotional despair. You've trained your dog to go potty in the right spot for months. Everything was going well, but suddenly, they start peeing indoors or having accidents around the house. Maybe you feel frustrated, but pause for a moment. This behavior might actually be their final cry for help. Stress, depression, or emotional instability can cause dogs to lose control over their bathroom habits. They don't want to do wrong, but they simply can't control it when their mind isn't okay. The first step is to rule out medical issues like a urinary tract infection. After that, don't punish them. Go back to basic potty training. Praise when they get it right, ignore the mistakes, stick to a clear schedule. At the same time, reduce stress in their environment, like loud noises, lack of playtime, or sudden changes. And if you've ever been in one of those frustrating situations, share your story in the comments, because you're definitely not alone. Dogs can't speak, but every one of their actions is a whisper of emotion. And you, yes, you, are the only one who can truly hear it. If you've made it this far, you're probably not just someone who loves dog, but someone who genuinely wants to understand them and walk beside them the right way. There's no perfect formula for making a dog happy, but one thing is certain. Your attention and genuine love can heal more than you realize. Take a moment today to observe your dog. Sit down beside them, look deep into their eyes. You might realize what they really need. Isn't a fancy meal or a brand new toy, but a heart patient enough to understand them. And if you're also on the journey to becoming a better companion for your dog, I'm right here to walk it with you. Leave a comment sharing what you've experienced or any questions you've been carrying. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because every time you need a deeper understanding of your dog's emotions, you'll always find it here.